Welcome to S Codex. Today, let's talk about the dark story behind one of the most famous names in history, Bloody Mary. You must have heard about the legend of Bloody Mary, where people say that if you stand in front of a mirror at midnight and call her name 3 times, a dark figure will appear in the mirror. But who was Bloody Mary actually? What was her real story? The truth is, very few people know that behind this scary legend was a real person, a princess who later became one of the most feared queens in history. Her real name was Mary. Mary was born in England on 8 February 1516. Her father was Henry VIII, and her mother was Catherine of Aragon. But Mary's childhood was not like a normal princess. It was filled with pain, loneliness, and betrayal. Mary's grandfather wanted a son who could become the next king. But Catherine, Henry's first wife, could not give birth to a boy. Instead, she gave birth to a daughter named Mary. Because Henry desperately wanted a male heir, he decided to end his marriage with Catherine. He separated Mary from her mother and sent her away when she was still very young. Later, Henry married Anne Boleyn. From this marriage, a daughter named Elizabeth was born. Yes, the same Elizabeth who later became one of the greatest queens of England. But Henry's second marriage also did not last long. After some time, Anne Boleyn was accused and executed, and Elizabeth was also removed from the royal line, just like Mary. After this, Henry married Jane Seymour. Jane was close to Henry, and because of her request, Henry finally brought Mary and Elizabeth back to the kingdom. In 1537, Jane became pregnant, but during childbirth, she died after giving birth to a son named Edward. Henry finally got the son he always wanted. At that time, royal families had many children, but some children were declared illegitimate. Those children had no right to the throne. Henry declared Edward VI as his successor. Mary and Elizabeth were once again pushed away from power. Later, Henry married 3 more times: Anne of Cleves, Catherine Howard, and finally Catherine Parr. Catherine Parr played an important role in bringing the family together. Because of her influence, Henry accepted Mary and Elizabeth again and restored their position in the line of succession. This meant that if Edward died, Mary could become queen, and after her, Elizabeth could claim the throne. After Henry's death, Edward VI became king at just 9 years old. But Edward did not like Mary, because she followed the Catholic religion, while he followed Protestantism. When Edward became seriously ill, his advisors convinced him that Mary should not become queen because she would bring back Catholicism. So Edward removed Mary and Elizabeth from the line of succession and declared Lady Jane Grey as his successor. Lady Jane Grey was also a member of the royal family. When Mary heard this, she was furious, because since childhood, Mary had faced injustice. She lost her mother, was separated from her family, and now even her own brother was trying to take away her right to the throne. In 1553, Edward VI died because of his illness. People supporting Lady Jane Grey planned to call Mary back for Edward's funeral and then capture her. But this time Mary was prepared. She decided that she would not stay silent anymore. With the support of her followers, Mary defeated Lady Jane Grey's claim and finally became the Queen of England and Ireland in 1553. At that time, Mary was 37 years old. After becoming queen, Mary married Philip II of Spain and ruled England for 5 years. But this is where her story took a darker turn. She did not want people to follow Protestant beliefs like her father and brother. She started forcing people to convert. Those who refused were imprisoned. But many people still refused to change their faith. And then Mary took a terrifying step. She ordered many Protestants to be burned alive because they refused to convert. Because of these actions, many people started fearing her name. The queen, who was once a princess suffering from injustice, became known as Bloody Mary. But many historians believe that Mary's actions were connected to the trauma she experienced throughout her life. She was separated from her mother at a young age. She was rejected by her father. She spent years fighting for her identity and her place in the royal family. Her only constant support was her Catholic faith. And when she finally got power, she wanted everyone to follow the same beliefs. Those who refused faced punishment. This continued for 5 years. Later, Mary became seriously ill and declared her half-sister Elizabeth I as her successor. On 17 November 1558, Mary I passed away at the age of 42. This was the story of Bloody Mary, a princess who suffered betrayal and pain throughout her life, and eventually became one of the most controversial queens in history. What do you think about Bloody Mary's story? Was she truly cruel, or was she shaped by the pain she experienced? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this story, like, share, and subscribe to S Codex for more mysterious stories from history.